The five love languages. Are they helpful or hype? I'm Leslie Dories, your marriage coach, creator of the Hero Husband Project, and owner of Foundations Coaching. And the five love languages were developed many, many years ago by Dr. Gary Chapman. And they have been adopted, used, translated, whatever you want to say, for years into hundreds of thousands of copies. And the truth of the matter is, they are not based in scientific principle. So does that make them useless? I don't know. There are a lot of things that we use that are not scientifically valid. The Myers-Briggs personality profile, the DISC profile, the Enneagram. These are all things that businesses use to help their employees be better managers. They're used as tools. But guess what? They aren't based in science either. Does that mean that we should just chuck them out? As long as we recognize that they're not perfect, but can they provide some information? Now, the five love languages are pretty simplistic. They are physical touch, quality time, acts of service, words of affirmation, and actual physical gifts. And there's been a lot of commentary and articles being written about them right now about how useless they are. And now I have a whole lot of issues with Dr. Chapman's view on marriage. He has done some evolution since the late 90s. He's still got some ways to go about what actually makes marriage work. But this is actually just a way of getting people to talk about things. Because the biggest challenge in marriage is recognizing that you are two different people. You have two different experiences, two different wants, two different desires, and it's how do you navigate those. And the love languages are a simple tool to help you identify how you best feel loved, and also how does your partner receive love. Because if you come from a family where there wasn't a lot of physical interaction, physical demonstration, and you marry somebody who physical touch is the way they feel loved. If you don't understand that, then you can't negotiate to a solution that makes your partner feel good. And in all of the assessments and looking at the accuracy of the love languages, there is a particular mistake that is being made. And by looking at and just asking somebody which one is their love language, and you're not going to get the right answer. The love language quiz is specifically designed as a forced choice. Would I rather have A or would I rather have B? Right? And when I took it, there were some that I didn't really care about either one, but I had to make a decision. So I had to choose, right? And there were some other ones that it's like, well, I like both of these things. So which one did I like more? And I actually came out to be somewhat bilingual. One of my biggest love languages is acts of service. Quality time is the other one. And my husband knows this, and when he does nice things for me, it makes me feel really good, makes me feel really special. That's the benefit of the love languages. They are not mutually exclusive. They are not hard and fast, cut and dried. I'd like people to think about the love languages like that quote from Pirates of the Caribbean about the pirate code. It's not really a code, it's more of a guideline, right? And so anything that gets you and your partner talking about what makes you feel safe, secure, loved, valued, connected is all to the good, right? And this idea that you have, that people who speak, whose love languages are the same, have it easier, actually, you could be speaking different dialects, right? What I would consider words of affirmation, somebody else might not. What I would consider physical touch, somebody else might not. So even if with the same, even if though that could be their primary love language. So it's still about having the conversation. It's still about talking about this. And the love languages give you a starting point. It's not an ending point, it's a starting point. And yes, it can change over time. And it doesn't mean that if my primary love language, which is acts of service, doesn't mean that I don't like hearing the words "I love you," right? It's there, but it helps people understand. It helps you understand yourself, what matters to you, and it helps you to understand your partner. And so, as I said, anything that does that, I think, is all to the good. Yes, don't take it so seriously that if we don't share the same love language, or my partner won't you know talk to me in the ideal way that I want to feel loved, that we're doomed forever. That is not what this is about. But and I am a big believer in science. I do think that things should be scientifically valid. But as I said before, it's a starting point for a conversation. And anytime you can have a negotiation conversation with your partner about what you want your marriage to look like, what matters to you, what matters to them, I'm like, all good, right? So if you'd like to know more about the love languages, how you can use them in your marriage, please put a comment down below. I would love to know your thoughts about this. And if you find this interesting, please subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that. Please feel free to share this. And until next week, stay loving.